sometimes,
yes,
or like
so dizzy,
distorted. It's really weird because I'm like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah, you feel like you're just like, and like you've been in that store before and like nothing will be wrong, but I guess like apparently your senses have been heightened too much, and now like you walk in, it's like, I cannot handle this. Like I've gotten on the ground before because I was just like, I need to be like in a ball.
Girl, I would trip like, girl, what's wrong with you? What am I supposed to do? What are we sipping on?
Lavender Dreams Latte.
You see, I got on my painter's gear, my artist. I call it my artist outfit. I didn't put on my artist wrap because I'm not a real artist, but you know, when I paint my cabinets, I feel like it. What are we getting into today? Ooh, look how pretty that is. I hope the camera got that. Introverting is self-care.
Yes.
That's like ice cream today.
It does. Okay.
Talking about introverting. Perfect tea for that.
The first question is, do you consider yourself an introvert?
No.
Oh, it's not?
Be real. Do you use it as an excuse not to deal with people? It's supposed to be our small talk.
Do I? Yes, I absolutely do. Because I'm like, I don't want to deal with people today. So I'm introverted. I even have a cup that says so.
I feel like people really like to use that as a go-to. Like they feel like, oh, you're an introvert. And it's like, okay, if you want to label me as that and I don't have to talk to you, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to say, like, some people probably aren't even introverts. I just wasn't in the mood that day.
Let's get into it. Shout out to Allison. Am I allowed to do that?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I did it, so. Actually, because Lavender Dreams was one of her favorites. Yeah, she came up with that blend. So Allison's one of our co-founders.
Yes.
But anyway, we're just going to shout out to Allison because we do miss her today on our shoot. But she is going down another career path. So we are wishing her the best of luck. And we're going to dedicate this episode to her. Oh, look at us. Do you consider yourself an introvert?
Yes.
Okay, why?
I'm getting to
it.
Sorry.
You're right. I do talk over your lot. I apologize.
Thank you. So
y'all don't have to get used to it. It's just something I do.
I consider myself an introvert because being around a lot of people, or even just one person sometimes, drains me. And like being alone is how I recharge.
So, I think I'd be considered an introvert. Like, socializing all day drains the hell out of me. I'm gonna be tired as hell when we get done with this. I'm gonna be like, I don't want to do anything tonight.
Let's not talk. That's what I was, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about it after this. I was like, hopefully we just watching TV. We don't talk. We don't need to recap the day.
I'm like, Taylor gonna want to go somewhere. She gonna want me to drive here.
We're not going nowhere.
I'm barely making it today. Like,
we're gonna be at the house.
But I still consider myself very social. I think people, when you say you're an introvert, they assume that you got like social issues. Or I don't want to say issues, but I think I'm starting to develop it.
But I wouldn't say like being around people that are like enthusiastic and stuff, like I still get energy from that. Like I'm still having fun. Like it excites me, but
like afterwards is
it's just tired.
But like I don't feel the urge to like go be around people ever. Like every now and then, like I might need it, but I never feel this urge to be like, where are the people at?
You know, that see right there, low key gave me anxiety. Like, ooh. What people?
That's like when you go on trips and people are like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do this, and I'm just like,
oh, see, but I do like to do things,
but by yourself or like with one person.
Yes,
I couldn't see you traveling in a group.
I'm very one-on-one group activities. I'm like, so y'all go do that, and I'm gonna go over here.
I'm definitely going to invite you to one of my clique friend trips, and. Because you're going to be my like, I'm going with Taylor. Me and Taylor are going to go do this. Y'all go ahead. We'll find another adventure. So do other people consider you an introvert?
Yes, absolutely. I don't. The people that I'm really high energy around might not. Like a lot of people don't know I'm shy. And I'm like, what? All the time. We have to hype myself up for this. But yeah, most of them consider myself an introvert.
So it's like being shy a part of being an introvert?
I think that can be separate. I think you could be a shy extrovert, but for me, I might be shy because it's draining. And like when you're a little kid, you don't know how that works.
Mine is weird because as a little kid, I used to like sit in the corner and my family would be all loud and rambunctious and interesting conversations, and I just soak it up. But I wasn't like trying to be in the conversation. So now they have a problem with it because they see me interact with my friends who bring me more energy in a different way. So I'm talkative and I'm like, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, and here's what I think, here's what I believe. So then when I'm around them and I don't say anything, it's just like, but I'm like, y'all, I've been this person since I was like a little kid. Like, let me stay who I am with my family and be like this around my friends. But usually around my friends, I'm more of the lively one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the type of friends I pick.
Yeah, because I'm chill. So you're usually like hyped.
Yeah, I'm usually, unless she's being weird, then we kind of level it out. If she's being weird, then I'm just like, all right.
If I'm like being super high, then you kind of like come down.
Yeah, so I guess I kind of read the room is how I show up.
Oh, look at you.
And if it's a lot of energy going on, I'm going to kind of be a little more chill. But if it's like a little less, then it's like, all right, what are we doing? Like, let's do
like
this.
At that party.
Like, let's throw some alcohol in here. Oh, yeah. The last
Girl,
party.
I was like,
I told you I wanted to have a good time. I wanted to drink and I wanted to have a good time.
I was like,
so I went and I did that.
Because most people, they weren't like dancing and stuff. She was shutting it down. I was like, okay. I thought we was going to like be on the wall, having some snacks, chilling. And you was like, no, let's dance, let's party. I'm like,
that's when my family came out of me.
So you soaked it in. You just don't give it back to them because you're like taking
They
it.
already got it. They already doing it.
They don't need it.
I'm taking what they gave me.
And giving it to others.
Giving it to the world. Okay. That's what life is about, right?
I think so.
Because really, as an introvert, you're affected by your environment, right? You'd say that.
Yes.
Whether it's like after the fact or like during. Ooh, it's still the environment. Yeah, during is really hard. I'm like,
that one's...
Is it time to go? I've been here 30 minutes. Is that enough?
Yeah.
Will I look weird if I just escape right now?
Yes, that one is so hard because it's like, I want y'all to invite me to the next thing, but I gotta go right now because
you got something to do? No, just I'm ready to go.
Just time to go.
You gotta have partners.
They're like, yeah, we're all going.
Yeah, you gotta pick a partner that's just like, you know when I'm ready to go. Like, yeah, like I only like to go out with certain friends. They get mad at me, but I'm like, so and so is going.
Yes,
like I be dragged when Taylor comes to town. I like to drag her places because then I could be like, all right, well we gotta go, and nobody's gonna question me. But if I leave by myself, people are like, you're so boring, da, da, da. And I'm just like, okay, bye.
Yeah, because at the party I was like, all right, well, if you're ready, I too am ready.
So the environment, being affected by your environment. And I guess the title is Introverting and Self-Care because you have to take a step back to get to know yourself, ask yourself what you need, and, reset if that's what you need to be able to show up again the next day or show up for yourself because it's really the one thing. Because I can give everybody, like I can give you all this high energy and then tomorrow, like I can't do any of the things that I said I wanted to do.
Oh, yes.
And people don't get that because it's just like, they're not there with you when you have to do the things you need to do for you.
Yeah, like, are you going to come and wash my clothes, get me ready for work? Because I spent
meal prep.
You going to cook my food? Because that's one of the things I do not like doing. So if you going to come do that, we can be high energy all night. Because I'm going to be asleep or just on the couch for the rest of the day.
So, like, what is an empath exactly? Because I think we all hear it's another buzzword.
So this site, healthline.com, says the term empath comes from empathy, which is the ability to understand the experience and feelings of others outside of your own perspective. You actually sense and feel emotions as if they're a part of your own experience. In other words, someone else's pain and happiness become your pain and happiness.
Girl, story of my life. But I think that's why, like, it's draining to be around people because if you do take on like
their emotions,
like you got all these different people you're around, especially if you're like a sponge and people like to be around you and you take on their emotions, or like you're feeling sad. Like some days I feel sad and like nothing happened, or it's not a period thing, it's not anything going on, it's just I feel it and you don't know where it's coming from, but some of it is from all these social interactions you've had and like soak that up. So, like, if you're considered an empath, you're just soaking up what's going on around you.
From that, I would say I'm not an empath. I don't think other people, like, if you're sad, I'm more like, okay, how can I fix it? Like, how can I help? More like, than like, oh, no, I'm sad too. That doesn't. But if I read a book, and they go through something, I feel like I'm now that character. And like when I finish, I could be like sad, like I could be having a great day and then read this sad book and now I'm like,
I mean, but that's like
what was
empathizing, right?
Yeah. But in real life though, I don't know.
That might be something therapeutic with detachment or something, but I'm not going to get any of these. So, but you're probably good at compartmentalizing. I am not.
Yes.
I'd be like, if I feel it, it's going to hit my entire life. Like, I can't be like, oh, nope, I'm going to go to work and forget about that. No.
Actually, compartmentalizing is something I, in therapy, I had to like stop learning to do.
Because then you weren't dealing with things.
Yes, because I'll just put it in a box and it's over with. Like, it never happened. Let's move on. And now it's like, okay, sometimes it needs to go in the box. Sometimes it doesn't.
How do you know when?
Girl, that is the question I ask my therapist all the time. How do I know when to do what?
Maybe it's how it's affecting you. How's it affecting your your life, your productivity?
She tells me something every time. Because I have a question. It's like the same question. I'm like, okay, when do I do this? When do I do that? For everything.
Well, I'm learning how to compartmentalize because I do soak up like the different energies. Like even when I go home, like I have to have this perfect environment. I hate to say that, but I need like my environment is important to me. So that's why like my house, I'm always changing it. When my mood shifts, I redecorate, move things around. When certain people are here, like I spend more time in my room. It's just, I didn't notice it was that intense. So even when I was little, when my family got to be too much, I'd go find a corner, find my room. But it's just a lot to take in. And then people want you to like still show up for everything when you feel all these different things all the time. But like, I don't know.
So when I just am tired, I go like find a corner. But I don't think it's just because like their emotions were like dragging me down.
Yeah, I mean, I won't even blame their emotions because some of those are mine. But it's a mix of mine, yours, theirs, and then like the anxieties of I wonder how they're feeling. Because sometimes one of the things that I notice, like when I'm in a good place or a bad place, is when I go to the airport and I'm around all these people. It's a thing I do. It's really weird. It's just like, oh, I wonder how they're doing. Like, I wonder what they're dealing with. What's their life like? And then, so like, then I know I'm like in a down place, but then other times I'll go in there, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all these people. Where are they going? This is exciting. Oh, they're probably newlyweds, and I get excited. So it tells me where I'm at mentally, but it's also like showing me that I am really like concerned with how everybody else is living. Like, not in the sense of, oh, I want that, but like, I hope they're doing okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're fine? Do you need to talk about it? So, I don't
bring them to the couch.
I probably brought all this on myself.
Huh.
I feel like, kind of like how we became friends, like other people tell me that all the time, that I be trying to have therapy with people, and I'm not. I just genuinely want to make sure that you're good. Like,
you're just very caring.
Yeah, but it's also a projection.
That was actually what I was about to say. Like, when you're down, so you're projecting, like, are they okay? And when you're, like, up, you're projecting, like, oh, they must be doing great.
Well, yeah, probably. Because I'm just like, okay, when I'm down, I want somebody, like, I don't want to ask somebody to, like, be there, but I need somebody, probably, even when I don't want to accept it. So then I've decided I'm going to do that for other people. Like, are you good? Do you need me to be here? But then, once you start that precedent, then you gotta
be consistent.
Yeah, because then people are gonna expect that to be you. So now you got people calling you all the time.
Yeah.
To like address a problem, like help me figure this out, and it's just like,
did I do this to myself?
Yeah, I'm starting to realize I did it. And it's not to say, because I know I'm gonna have friends who listen. It's like, oh, you don't want to hear me talk? I don't mind most times, but sometimes I do not feel good. And you don't know how to tell people, like, yeah, I'm fine, but I'm not fine.
What were we talking about before? Like, it was like setting boundaries, like you kind of tell them, like, I don't have space for this right now.
We did that yesterday. Taylor wanted to watch a show, and I've been struggling, like we've been saying. And I was like, is that a sad show? Like, is it a lot of bad stuff happening?
It's all American, by the way.
And I was just like, yeah, I can't watch that right now. Like, I just couldn't handle it. I needed something, like, I've been watching HGTV and, like,
feel good shows.
Yeah, like I can't handle it because then I'm gonna be all sad and mopey. And the next part was the what is it? Highly sensitive. I bought a book, but I didn't read it. So, but that's another one, like highly sensitive or hyper aware. So I looked it up, so that we'd have a definition.
Because I'm going to say, I don't really know what that means.
And I guess they say it's like a personality trait. This girl, for instance, says throughout her life, she's been deeply affected by bright lights, strong scents, itchy clothing, and loud noises. And I have a sister like that. And I guess people would say that she's probably introverted, but like she literally feels everything. And then she said at times it feels like I can intuit another person's feelings, picking up on their sadness, anger, or loneliness before they've said a word. I'm trying to find the actual definition. It isn't a disorder or condition, but rather a personality trait that's also known as sensory processing sensitivity.
Ooh. Now, I might not be an empath, but I will say sometimes, like the bright lights and things, and just sometimes I'm just like, I want to go in a sensory deprivation tank and just like feel nothing. Like it's dark, it's quiet, just, yeah.
That would send me in panic. Like, I have to feel something.
I am scared. I haven't done it. But that's something I talked about in therapy. It's like, so what do I do then? So right now, I'm just kind of like sit in a dark place. Kind of like when people have migraines.
Yeah.
But
so you just kind of remove all of the stimulants.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I have to like put headphones on. Like if we're listening to music in the car, I'm like, we got to turn this off. We got to roll down the windows, or the air needs to be on real cold. I just wrap up something like, I don't know.
I do that one when I'm driving. I have to turn the air up. People be cold in the car with me, but I do. It's like an anxiety thing for me. It just it calms me down because I'm all, I don't know, it's weird. But the lights thing, I know I have to complain about the Target lights and when you're like in those bigger stores, the lighting makes me feel kind of dizzy sometimes.
Yes,
or like
so dizzy.
Distorted. It's really weird because I'm like, what is wrong with me?
And like you've been in that store before and like nothing will be wrong. But I guess like apparently your senses have been heightened too much. And now like you walk in and it's like, I cannot handle this. Like I've gotten on the ground before because I was just like, I need to be like in a ball.
Girl, I would trip like, girl, what's wrong with you? What am I supposed to do? I notice it more when I'm driving because like, especially in Atlanta because everything is so fast. It's like almost like it's hard for my mind to catch up with what's going on around me. So like that's when I know that I need some alone time. Like you need to sit down with yourself and just like nothing. You don't want to, and then like certain noises will irritate me that didn't irritate me. Certain like dirty spaces will irritate me. Like what do you call? I like call them like the crevices. The crevices of things will start like making me uncomfortable. It's like, okay, I need to clean. The baseboards.
Like you haven't cleaned the baseboard in months, but all of a sudden the baseboards needs to be cleaned.
But like everything, like all of my senses. The only thing that's probably not affected is my taste. No, I'll probably eat everything, but like
actually, I probably will eat more.
Yeah,
like let's get some ice cream. Let's get some pizza.
But my ear, the sound of people's voices, like some people's voices. I went home this weekend. My mom was talking about something and she was loud, and I was just like.
It's scratching the inside of my head.
Yes. And I'm just like, this is her normal voice, but it's really like something's off with me right now. So I had to realize that it was me. It's not her. Like, you're not annoying me. I'm just annoyed.
That's a good way to look at it.
Oh, but like this says someone with a sensitive nervous system who's deeply affected by the subtleties in their environment. And how do you explain that to people? Like,
I don't know.
Most of us probably don't know we have that or like that's a thing for us. I'm starting to think it's a thing for me. But like, how do you explain without sounding like, you know how they have like all these traits? Yeah.
How do you say
like mainstream crazy? Like, oh, y'all believe all kind of stuff these days.
The sounds that you are currently making are scratching the inside of my head. Please stop.
You keep talking to me and I just want to hear silence. But like, how do you just say like, stop talking to me? You know?
I don't know. I've had.
You just sound irritated.
I've done that. Like in my relationship, I had to be like, yeah, I need quiet right now because I just feel overloaded. Like I started Googling it. Like, what do you do? Like, because at first I didn't even know it was called highly sensitive. Like I was just like, everything is bothering me. The noise, the sound. Like, how do I make it stop? Like, why do I feel the need to be in a sensory deprivation tank? Like. And I was just like, yeah. So we got me some headphones and I kind of like just go do my own thing.
I wonder if that falls under like anxiety.
Probably.
Like this is a symptom of anxiety.
Probably. Because it's also,
diagnosis.
well, I won't say it. A lot of times it's like when I have to go out and I have social anxiety sometimes. So. Yeah.
I used to get annoyed by that. Like when you were like socially, like Taylor, just talk to people, just interact.
Oh.
Plus, I also do want her to be comfortable because, like, when she's comfortable, because, like, okay, you know, you have friends who you see a certain side of them, but everybody doesn't get to experience that. And it's like, come on, let your light shine, let the people get it, like.
And I'm like, it's cool. They don't need to see that.
Yeah. And I'm like, no. What's your favorite quote? You know what I'm saying? Marianne Williamson.
Our greatest fear is not that we're adequate. Our greatest fear is
that we are powerful beyond measure. Did you hear how her voice got really low then? You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking.
So I'm just, I just, you know.
I didn't even remember it.
But you say it all the time. Well, we used to do this thing. Because we just be coming up with stuff because we be bored or we be trying to go through these.
I like everything to be fun, so.
We be trying to improve in life and stuff. Nobody wants to do it with us, but we did this, like, these monthly, like, challenges.
They were challenges.
And what's an example of one?
Mm-hmm.
We had to do, like, a yoga pose. And I would say these are kind of like introverted activities because they're, like, not like, oh, how many, I don't know.
You don't have to do them in public.
They're like personal.
Yeah. And we just share at the end.
Yeah, so it creates this tribal type of vibe, but it gives you the sense of like, I don't know.
You're doing it together.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the things we started it because we didn't live in the same city anymore. And we like grew up together. So it's like, well, how are we going to stay friends? Because we used to do everything together.
Taylor tells me I'm creative. I tell her that she's creative. She thinks I'm a good writer. I think Taylor's an even better writer. She doesn't like writing. I don't mind writing, but she's really good at it. So, like, each person would get to pick what we were doing that month. So I would pick something that really pushed her out of hers, where it was something I probably wanted to do, but I knew it would make her a little uncomfortable. So I probably picked the poem one.
You did.
And, you know, she would make me do some sort of physical activity, probably.
Yes, because I like to do physical activities, and you like to not do those things.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I work out, but Taylor she likes technique and like this many of this and that many of this. And I'm just like, I'm just want to go work out.
No, we're training. We have to have a goal.
You have to do it this way. Like we were working out together not too long ago. And she's like, your form is wrong. Do you want me to show you or are you just going to keep doing it? And I'm just like, this is why I work out alone.
I'm really just trying to protect you because you could hurt yourself. Okay.
Okay. I'm not training for a triathlon. I'm just working out.
But good form is so you can do it when you're 90. That's the goal. Yeah.
Anyway, let's skip to the therapy moment. What would your therapist say?
Take time for yourself.
Self-care.
Basically. Like, she would be all for it. Like, you need to take time for yourself so that you can show up. Because it's not that I don't want to. Like, I enjoy hanging out, going places, doing things. So just make sure it's a priority.
I think my therapist would say she would give me kudos for recognizing my triggers.
Okay.
Like, so being aware of when I get into that place. And then it's like, okay, so what are you going to do when you get there? So the thing, I guess, is like a universal thing is communicate it. And then if you feel like you can't communicate it with the people who you're around or who you want to be around, then maybe assess why you want to be around them.
Ooh.
Do you need to be around them in those times? Or is there a way that you can limit the amount of time? Because I think my struggle is communicating how I'm feeling to people when they don't get it. Or it seems trivial. I don't know. We were talking about it earlier. You got to find somebody in life who can understand like your mental state. And it's just like, sometimes I get like this and it's not you.
It's me.
Yeah, I literally need to just be with myself.
If you don't know what you need and you don't tell someone else, like how can you expect that?
Yeah. But you got to like try to be self-aware enough to know that you need something.
Yeah.
Like what I'm doing right now is currently not working. So I need to like reset or I need a minute. Because like the worst part is when you feel like that in settings where you can't go and be by yourself. So like, how do you be at home in yourself enough to like reset mentally with all these noises? That's the point of meditation.
Well, I was about to say the only thing I can do in the moment is breathe. Like, ooh, yesterday.
Yeah, she did that in the car. I'm like,
There was too much going on. I was like, just breathe. We're going to do 10 breaths. Just count and breathe.
So that's probably the hardest part, is trying to do it when you're in an environment you can't. So I try to control my environment so that I can introvert in the way that I need to without other people's opinions. But I can't always control my environment, which is what I'm learning as I'm adulting, but whatever. So, like, how do I read this book before. That's why that's why we say the pendulum swings, because it talks about, like, the pendulum swings of life and how, like, you'll go really high, but, like, you'll have to go back to that balance at some point, and then maybe you'll go, like, really low. Yeah. And things like that. So, like, that's just life. It's just going to take you there, but just you go up, so you got to come back down.
Yeah. And you want to be in, like, the middle, so the highs and lows aren't too...
Yeah, it's like you want to climb the pendulum so that when you swing, it's not as big of a...
difference.
Yeah. It's a really good book.
We'll link it at the bottom.
Yeah, like, subscribe, comment. Check out this. I don't know.
I'd say the hardest part for me is not controlling my environment. It's like when my environment's good or like when I'm doing well. So I'm like not recharging. Like I'm just draining, but I'm not noticing it. So then like all of a sudden, yes, when I don't do maintenance self-care, and so all of a sudden I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like I don't want to be around nobody. I can't talk. I don't do anything. And it's like, well, when was the last time you meditated? When was the last time you journaled? When was the last time you were by yourself?
That's also another therapist moment. She's like, you got to maintain because you feel like you don't need it right now, but you will need it. So it's kind of like you got to, like working out.
Yeah.
You got to like still build up that stamina. You know, that's today's episode. Introverting is self-care, and don't let anybody tell you differently or make you feel bad about being an introvert. And then like research the stuff or ask your therapist, because we encourage therapy, about like the hypersensitivity thing or what was the other one? Being an empath. There are a whole bunch of other buzzwords and things out there, but
yeah, ask someone about it that knows more.
Yeah, because we're not experts.
Really, don't just Google it all. Like maybe Google and then ask someone who's an expert, because Google will tell you all type of things. Okay.
Yeah.
Peace.
This Lavender Dreams low-key made me feel like I was like a little bit high. I'm just saying.
It does relax you.
Like, so I was chilling this whole episode like.
Introverting is not selfish, or because they always say self-care is selfish, and just because the world like makes extroverts like yay be like an extrovert, don't take time for yourself, okay? Even
introverts have a role in this world.
Ooh, that's like that book Quiet.
Never heard of it.
Okay, my therapist recommended it.
Okay, we'll write it down.
Okay,
we'll both read it. I think I would say that because you're an introvert, or if people think you are an introvert, to assess what that means, like what that means for you and your self-care needs. So like, again, stop apologizing for needing what you need. And you need to surround yourself with people who can support that. Yeah.
Take time for yourself. That's really what it is.
Do the research too. Like find a therapist. Everybody gets mad when I say that. Everybody gets pissed when I say therapist.
Okay, bars.
No, but like I wouldn't have learned any of these things, and I still don't know them if I wasn't putting myself in places with people who have the knowledge about it. I didn't make these up. I know people be thinking I make stuff up. Sometimes I do. But I didn't make this up. So do the research, because you deserve to know that you're okay.
Oh, yes, you're okay. Introverted, needing self-care, needing time for yourself, you're okay.
Bam, we did that. Okay.